Hi, I'm Nels Dahlgren, a board-certified physician and medical director at Carson Tahoe's Pain Institute. Normally, I perform surgeries and procedures to help patients with cancer and non-cancer pain. I also teach science-based mindfulness. I began teaching 10 years ago at the Veterans Administration Hospital to help combat veterans with PTSD, chronic pain, and addiction. Since then, the scientific evidence for mindfulness has grown substantially, with clear evidence that a daily mindfulness practice can reduce stress, improve emotional and physical pain, and help heal addiction. In support of our staff, our patients, and our communities, the Carson Tahoe Health and Wellness Institute has generously produced this free-to-learn and free-to-share online mindfulness series. Normally, a single mindfulness lesson is taught over 60 minutes. However, this series is different. This is a shortcut series designed to teach basic mindfulness skills in 5 minutes or less to anyone, anywhere, anytime. No experience required. Each lesson is designed to be portable and standalone, not requiring any special clothing, pillows, music, just your body and an open mind. Our hope is that you incorporate these lessons into your personal journey to health, happiness, and life balance. Excellent. Let's get started with our first lesson. The title of today's 1-minute lesson is What is Mindfulness? Mindfulness is the intentional practice of training the mind to bring non-judgmental awareness into every moment. Through practice with our internal experiences, which are our thoughts, our judgments, and our emotions, as well as our external senses, taste, touch, and our sense of movement, each of us can acquire the benefits of mindfulness. Today may be your very first experience with mindfulness, so before we begin, we should spend a moment talking about excuses. When people, including myself, commit to a path of self-improvement, we often throw in the towel early. Whether our self-improvement goal is better health, better relationships, or learning a new skill like playing an instrument, or learning to be mindful, when we give up, we normally use 2 excuses. We either blame ourselves, I'm broken, I'm not good enough, or my mind doesn't work that way. Or we blame the practice. This is hard. This is boring. I need instant gratification. Which usually leads to wasting time with electronic media, with Netflix, with buying more things we don't need on Amazon. When we make excuses, we lose very rare opportunities to become better people. So, instead, right from the start, let's agree to 2 truths. First, we are all broken. There is no such thing as perfect, and there's always room to become calmer, kinder, and more patient with ourselves and our world. And second, any self-improvement project, whether it's losing 10 pounds, communicating better with our loved ones, will always seem difficult at first. The journey of 1,000 miles does not begin with a single step. In truth, the journey of 1,000 miles requires a brave and fearless individual who commits to the first and most difficult step. The first step is the hardest, the second step easier, and the 1,000th step is barely noticeable. So let's be brave together and start our first skills practice. The title of today's 4 minutes of skills practice is Kind Non-Attachment. Let's begin by learning basic mindfulness sitting and breathing. Assuming you have a chair, follow along. Sit forward towards the front of your chair, upright. If your chair has a back support, don't use it. Imagine your torso like the trunk of a strong tree, 6 feet wide, confident, rooted firmly in the earth. twist your trunk, swaying backwards and forwards at your hips, bending in the wind, coming to rest in a comfortable, upright position. Great. Now plant your legs firmly and securely on the earth, feet flat on the ground. Aim for about 90 degrees at the hips and 90 degrees at the knees. Knees about 2 feet apart and relaxed. Now our arms. Let's gently shake our arms. Great. Like heavy tree branches loaded with leaves or pine needles, let your branches come to rest on your knees, or in your lap if you prefer. Relax, let gravity take over. Feel the heaviness of gravity. Excellent. Now let's take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, deep into the belly, and out through the nose or mouth, slowly. In deep as the belly expands, out slow, the belly softens. In deep, out slow, in your own time, at your own pace. With our next breath, let's shift our attention to the muscles of our forehead. As we exhale, let the forehead muscles relax. Now move to the muscles around your eyes. With the next exhalation, let your eyelids hang, eyes open and relaxed. Now the muscles in your mouth and your jaw. Let them relax, and let your jaw hang slightly and comfortably open, bringing your tongue to rest on the top of your mouth, just touching the back of your top teeth. Now try breathing in and out through our mouths. Breathing in and out. In your own time. Notice that the breath feels different when breathing through the nose. Notice that the breath feels different when breathing through the mouth. Remember to keep your eyes open, even imagining a distant horizon, perhaps a beautiful sunrise or sunset. Choose a point just below the horizon. Your gaze slightly turned downward. Let your focus soften, relaxed gaze, just fixed at that point. And breathe. This is basic mindfulness sitting. Deep into the belly. And slow exhale. Excellent job. Let's turn our attention back to the sensations of breathing. Breathing in through your nose, deep. Feel the coolness in your nostrils. Breathing out through your nose, slow. Feel the warmth as you exhale. Anchor your mind to how the breath feels. Breathing in, cool. Breathing out, warm. Breathing in, fresh energy, breathing out, calm and warm. In mindfulness, we learn to use the breath as our anchor, always coming back to the breath when our mind wanders. And our mind will wander. In fact, it probably already has. I'm hungry. I must look silly. Or this guy's voice is annoying. When our mind wanders into thoughts and judgment, use the mantra, see, touch, go. See the thought or judgment in your mind. Touch the thought or judgment with kindness, and then instantly set it free, letting the thought or judgment go, and then instantly returning to the focus, to the feel of the breath, breathing in, breathing out. The basic practice of kind non-attachment is recognizing when the mind has wandered without clinging to thoughts, without hanging on to judgment, simply and kindly letting go over and over 1,000 times. See, touch, go 1,000 times, always with kindness. That's it. Let's practice in silence for a minute. Again, begin by focusing on the feelings of the breath. And then, when you recognize your focus is no longer on the breath, perhaps in thoughts or in judgment, see, touch with kindness, and let it go. As we take one last deep breath, bringing our focus back to our surroundings, I'd like to thank everyone for joining. If you have additional time to practice, after just a few announcements, we'll continue for an optional 10 minutes. We have included mindfulness resources in the video description. These resources include favorite books, audiobooks, and mobile applications. The Carson Tahoe Health and Wellness Institute also offers classroom-based group mindfulness lessons, which allow more time for both practice and questions. Feel free to share these videos. A good starting goal is to practice 15 minutes a day. Have an amazing day. For those with extra time, let's continue practicing kind non-attachment. For our remaining time, we'll be using a mobile application named Insight Timer. It's one of my personal favorites and one which I encourage you to explore. We'll set a chime for every 3 minutes. A chime is a simple tool designed to gently bring our attention back to breathing when our minds have wandered. We'll practice with interval bells every 3 minutes. And I encourage you to try practicing with interval chimes or bells on your own. When a bell or chime sounds, if your focus is not on the breath, in your mind, say the mantra, see, touch, and go. See, touch, go. See the thought, touch the thought with kindness, and instantly set the thoughts free. See, touch, go. We'll begin with 3 deep breaths. As the timer sounds, we'll start. Excellent. In your own time, deep 3 to 4 seconds into the belly. Slow 7 to 8 seconds. Exhale. and begin. Practicing with breathing through the nose, practicing with breathing through the mouth, focused on the feeling of breathing. And if your mind has already wandered, see, touch with kindness, and let it go. First chime, simply a tool, bringing our mind back from wandering and back to the breath. see, touch, and go. Returning to the breath. Feeling the breath. Anchoring our mind, our focus, to the feeling of the breath. And that's 10 minutes. With a final chime. Taking one last deep breath in. And slow breath out. Bringing our focus back to our surroundings. I'd like to thank everyone for joining, and have a wonderful day.